I'm really excited to be here. Thank you again, only for the introduction, but for well inviting me here to give this little talk. And nice to meet you all. I'm Valem, and let's get here technical because I have like a very, very, very technical project to share with you that will kind of sums up how you can use hand interaction, pass-through API, microgesture, voice recognition, all together in one single project. So I hope that you guys are ready. This is going to be very technical, but not too much. I get that we are going to do a bit of both, right? I think I will start with first kind of an introduction of the project by sharing some slide, if you allow me. And then after that, we will get deep into Unity, see a bit how it works behind the curtains. So without further ado, I will try to share my screen. I'm not the most familiar with Zoom, so I hope I'm doing everything
Yeah.
correctly, but I should. There you go.
If
Screen
if you have
three.
sound, you can also share sound in the Zoom.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
Can you see
So
my screen here?
yes, yes. If you can maybe stop sharing, I just want to make sure on
Oh
the
yeah.
right there's a button called Share Sound. Maybe stop share and share again, so we make sure that the sound will be picked up.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh,
just
where is this? Oh yeah. Stop
just stop
sharing.
sharing, and when you are sharing on the right, there's a tick called Share Sound on the right side of the screen.
Oh, nice. I didn't notice that. So,
Yeah.
to-
Yes.
uh, optimize. Yeah, everything should be good. Now, okay, so you should even hear some sound. I'm not even sure if I have sound, but it's better. And
Okay.
I guess
Yeah.
that for the Unity part of the project, it's going to be great. So yeah, yeah, I have prepared some slide. I came prepared here for giving this talk. So let's get started. So as Ferran told you guys, this project is about recreating Meta new AI glasses on my Quest. But first, if we are recreating Meta new AI glasses, what are these glasses? Of course, these were announced at Connect. This is like the new, I guess, the new exciting tool that Meta has announced. These are basically Meta Ray-Ban, but with a tiny screen that allows you, to display some element in front of the other, like an audio player, some I don't know, message, and everything you can control with. For me, is one of the best thing in the device. Is here this little thing that you can put on your wrist, and that will actually recognize the hand movement that you do, and you can see it right now. You can see that this little guy is making left and right motion like this with his thumb, and this allows the user to navigate in the UI. Pretty amazing. Honestly, when I saw this, I was kind of amazed. But as I told Ferran during Connect, the line was so long when they announced this device that I couldn't test it myself. So yeah, that was so unfortunate. The device was there to display and test for people, but the line was so long that I couldn't be there to wait and test them. So when I go back, I decided to, you know what, maybe I can recreate them with this device that you guys probably know of, which is a MetaQuest headset. And when you think of this, well, we will see that this device kind of already has a lot of feature that is similar. Um, I'm not saying that this device is replacing the Meta Ray-Ban display, because of course it's going to be weird if you put this on your head and that you start to walk around. But I mean, we can. What I'm saying here is that we can use the MetaQuest 3 already as of today to prototype for the futuristic device, and I'm going to show you how. I'm going to maybe see if I can see some question at the same time. What could probably be good is that if you guys have anything to say, I will look at both my presentation and the comment section. So yeah, if you have any question, anything you'd like to ask, I'm there and we can answer them on the spot very casually. But yeah, oh, Mikael is saying that he tried them at Connect. Lucky you. Okay, anyway, let's get started. And here is already the spoiler. Well, this is exactly the oh, ask under QA. Let me see. I hope I'm doing everything right. Oh, good. Ooh, there is some sound indeed. Beautiful. There we go. Okay, there we go. I'm going to present to you guys a little bit the project. Let me reduce a little bit the sound here. So on the left side, this is what you can see. This is the result of the prototype that I'm about to reveal to you guys. So basically, I'm here on with using my mixed reality headset, the Quest 3, and I'm able, to navigate in this menu using the same gesture as of the Meta Ray-Ban display. And as you can see, I'm also able to do the same stuff as during the demonstration, which is up or lower the volume with this little gesture. But that's not it. On the right side, you can see another example at the result where I'm not only using the Meta Quest 3 to, play music or browse the menu, but I'm also trying to incorporate, to add AI feature to this device. And you guys will see that it's not only possible to chat with an AI directly within your Quest 3 headset, similarly to something you can do with the Meta Ray-Ban display, but you can use the Passthrough Camera API to create contextual AI, basically AI that is about that can understand the world that is in front of you. And yeah, the result is very, very cool. And all of this project, as you can tell, kind of merge these four elements. First, we have the mixed reality setup with pass-through. Then we have the hand interaction that contains the micro gesture, which allow me to navigate in the UI. Then I'm using the pass-through camera API. This is the third element to not only be able to take picture with my prototype, but also use it on top of the AI, which is our last element, our fourth element. And all together, this small prototype that I think is kind of a great showcase to show these four different elements into one. I can see not possible to use wristband outside of Ray-Ban as far as we know. Yeah, that is true. We didn't get a lot of information, as you guys know, about the wristband, but yeah, it's unfortunate that we cannot use them outside of the Ray-Ban. But yeah, this wristband is very awesome. Everybody wants to use them. Do you think AI can help Meta Ray-Ban glasses understand a user mood or intent to make interaction feel more personal? I mean, with the AI, you can basically do anything, right? When you have an image, you can use this image to any shape that you want, not just to track the user, body movement, but also to track do some face recognition to know if the user is happy or sad. Well, it's not maybe a question of feasibility. It's more of a question of what you can do and what you should do. But yeah, there is like a world of possibility that is open with these kind of devices, especially using the AI. And that is something that we will look at right now. No, anyway, this is like a little sums up of who I am, but Ferran has kind of shared everything already in a very good way. So here is me. I'm Quentin Valembois. I'm the CEO of Valem Studio. We are a small VR development studio in Belgium, but most of all, I'm also the creator of Valem Tutorials, which is a YouTube channel dedicated to VR development. And yeah, I like to put tutorials for free out there and help people get started on their VR journey. Now, anyway, we have now a lot of work to do. We have 4 things to do. Let's get started with the first one, which is how can we create a mixed reality setup? And this is the easy part because, well, basically with here this VR headset and a Unity editor, you can in just one click allow the pass-through to be enabled. And this is kind of the result that you get with doing so. You kind of get basically glasses because the pass-through, thanks to these 3 little cameras, allows you to reproject the real environment inside these little lenses, which means that you can use this VR headset like a mixed reality headset and not only a VR headset. So it's pretty cool, it's pretty convenient. So in a way, these VR headsets are basically glasses in disguise, right? And this is what's going on here. I'm basically, wearing the glasses, and I guess that all of you guys, if you have worked with these, you know how easy it is to, You can put the device and just move around, and the camera is pretty good. Not perfect, of course, not to the high resolution, but it is kind of it is good enough to, for example, look at your smartphone and be able to, answer a message or type anything you want. So it's pretty good. And with this, we already have our first point of the 4 element, which is the mixed reality setup. But of course, we have 3 other to go. And the next one is, the hand interaction. But of course, if we want to do hand interaction, we need to interact on something. And here I used a Unity UI system. And I'm not going to talk more about this because I think it's way better if I do it in Unity and then I show you a bit how Canvas works. Well, you probably already know how Canvas works, but I mean how I was able to use the UI navigation system. And using UI navigation system from Unity, I'm able, to link it to a certain direction to be able to navigate in the menu in the same way as the Meta Ray-Ban display. And here is what happens, because I'm going to put back here what I shared before, which is here you have on the left side, this thing right there. You can see that the wristband works by doing some subtle gesture with the thumb, and this allows you to navigate in the UI. Now, at this point, we already have the UI built, but how can we, interact? So with this UI, how can we use in the same way the little gesture to navigate in this UI? And of course, this doesn't seem possible, right? Because we don't have the wristband. But with a Quest 3, we of course don't have a wristband, but we do have hand tracking. So hand tracking is another great features from this device that allows you to basically map your player hand into a list of bones that you can, recognize, try to do hand pose, all of that. And recently, a feature was announced even before the Meta Ray-Ban display were announced, and these features are called the Microgesture. And let me talk a little bit about them. So there you go. Microgesture are a feature that are completely new in the hand tracking possibilities of the Meta Quest 3 headset. And I was a bit, when I saw the announcement for this kind of interaction, I was kind of so impressed to see how good it was. I mean, you can see a little bit with the example on the right side where I'm able to direct a character using the thumb direction. It's super good. Even if it's just a small motion, it was able to, be super precise, not just into the direction that you are giving, but you can also tap and it can basically do a pretty difference into either tapping, going in direction or another motion. So I was kind of blown away by how good it was. And now that, the Ray-Ban display was announced later, I'm like, oh, that is why it was so good. Because they must have worked so hard on this type of interaction that for this new device, that it is the reason why it's working so well already with this. But now my point is that with this Microgesture, you see me coming with this one, we are able to create something very similar to the Meta Ray-Ban display to navigate in the menu. And basically here, I'm linking a direction from the Microgesture to a direction in the user interface with here this navigation system. And with this, here is one of the example, a music player built within the application. You can see that I'm with this little gesture, I'm kind of navigating left, right, up, down. I'm able to go to another song. There you go, you can hear the song, I hope so. And you can see also something else, right? So this is the last thing that you can see is something that was announced during Connect. Mark Zuckerberg was sharing that, okay, you can play a little music, but let me show you something more. You can also pinch and twist to up or lower the volume, which is pretty cool. But with this, I was like, maybe I can do so. And here you can see a little bit of the result with this. So of course, this is not Microgesture, This is a custom hand tracking features where I was able to recognize the pinch and then look at the rotation of the hand to know if the user was increasing or lowering the music. And the result is pretty good. I can even share the script to you guys if you want at the end. But yeah, let me ask maybe some question. Let me see if there is some question. Did you already try the Meta Wearable Device Access Toolkit? No, I haven't. I haven't, so I don't have a lot of things to say about it, but I wish I had played with it. If we do AR, can we actually just use phone camera to render the game? Can you explain a little bit what you mean by phone camera? Are you talking here about a Quest camera here? Or is it a mobile application or a XR application? Let me see. Microgesture is available with OpenXR. No, these microgestures are features from Meta SDK, but I mean Meta SDK is built on top of OpenXR, but this is not working with Unity XR Interaction Toolkit. If this might be if this is answering well. Love Valem's tutorial so much, currently following the XR one. Oh, I'm happy to see this, even if it's not a question. But anyway, so yeah, so here you can, so at this point, we have the mixed reality setup, we have the hand interaction, and we have two more things to go. And here I'm just remembering that I have one more slide to share about hand interaction, and it is this one. On the left side, it says here, here I'm just talking a bit more about the pinch and twist technique that you saw. So the microgesture are something that was made for the device that I didn't have to do anything. And I'm going to share with you in the script how easy it is to actually use this microgesture. But for the pinch and twist, this is a custom-made solution where basically I'm first listening to the pinch of the user and then listening to the rotation of the wrist. You can see what was demonstrated during Connect here. You can see that, okay, you pinch and then with the rotation, it up or down. And here you can see my implementation, which is very similar. On the right side, you can see another example at similar technique because this technique was used using hand pose. And this is a common features in hand tracking where you can basically, you know, have certain shape and you can recognize if your player is creating some particular shape with its hand. You have a bunch of examples right now on the right side with the thumbs up, thumbs down, rock, paper, scissor, palm facing up. So all of these gestures can be recognized. So it's pretty great. The Meta SDK has all of the features that you need to kind of use hand pose really fast. So yeah, okay. Do you think we will ever be able to control Meta Ray-Ban glasses with just microgesture plus AI understanding or intent? We'll have to see, but probably. I guess, yeah. A lot of question with the SDK, and I'm also very curious to see exactly what will be inside. But yeah, okay. At this point, I was saying that we had the mixed reality setup. We had the hand interaction setup. We need only two little things now. We need the pass-through camera and the artificial intelligence. So let me talk about the pass-through camera API. So do you guys know about this feature? I hope so, because it is kind of the big news that is that is happening in the XR community since last year. So the pass-through camera API feature was actually announced last year at Meta Connect, and it is something that was wanted from the dev community for so long. Basically, with this device, you can display the pass-through of the Meta Quest 3, but you can never access directly the texture of the camera that are being used. You can display the pass-through, but you cannot read this texture, you know? So this is like a weird difference to understand, but we were able to display it to our user, but us as developer, we were not able to kind of read this camera feed. And well, that was before, because now we can. with this new Passthrough Camera API, we are able to get information about not only display the camera of the Quest 3, but also get the complete camera feed, and this change anything. This change everything, because now that we can understand and read the world of our player, we can do light estimation, environment awareness, color tracking, visual effect like a glass, for example, and of course we can do artificial intelligence because we can feed this data to an AI model to get some info. Of course, some visual computation. And here are two examples that I really love. You probably, if you are a lot on LinkedIn like I am, you probably see both of them. On the left, you have Boli. Oh, I have actually not put a video of Boli here, but Boli is an example of actually using this feature to track a little ball in your environment. And with this, you are able to, because you are tracking a ball, you can just place different object and shoot the ball. And if the ball hits one of the object, like a virtual goal, you can play a sound. And yeah, it's a pretty cool game. You should Google it. Another example is on the right side here. I'm going to replay it, and it's an application called Vermilion. So it was an application that actually worked before the Passthrough Camera API. And here you can see one of my favorite example at the Passthrough Camera API. With what he did, he was able to create a feature where you can take a picture of a real, or of the real world, turn it into a canvas, and then, and this is what we see. So at this moment, it takes a picture. Then I'm going to pause. Yeah, the AI is going to turn this picture into a canvas. And then he's able to use his pencil to grab the color of the real environment and use it to paint to paint on here this canvas. I think it's amazing. It's very, very cool. But anyway, here in our case, we are going to use this first a bit simpler because, of course, our example is to recreate the Meta Ray-Ban display. And one feature that was shared is the capacity for the Meta Ray-Ban display to, take picture. And this is something that we can actually do. And here is an example. I just have something like probably here, I guess the use of here the camera pass-through API is pretty simple. I'm just displaying back the camera texture in front of a quad in front of the player. And when the user tap on his hand, I'm going to save this data somewhere and even be able to browse through all of that gallery. But the only thing worth mentioning is that, well, there is no zoom, right? So we cannot really change the field of view or zoom anything with these devices. So what here I did at the very beginning, you can see that I'm able to zoom, but it's not actually zooming. I'm just scaling the image down or up, with the same pinch and twist motion that I shared with you previously. But anyway, we are almost done now. We have the hand interaction, we have the mixed reality, we have the pass-through camera API, and of course, one thing is missing. It is the artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. It is a big word right now. It must be super difficult to do. And the answer is no. It is so easy to use. It is so easy to create, to use a model. It is so easy to do a web request. What's not easy is when you are trying to do custom thing, when you are trying to create your custom AI model, when you are trying, but just creating a ChatGPT web request is a matter of a few lines of code. It's very simple. You can send an image with it, you can send message, and with just a couple of lines of code, you are able to get an answer. So it's like it's a very easy door to open, but the words that is behind, the room that is behind this very easy door to open is so big. AI is opening the door to so many cool things to do. You can send an image to an AI or ask anything, and you can actually restrict and shape this AI to your need. And it is what I did here. I'm going to share with you an example here. This is a simple example where I'm just asking ChatGPT request. And I'm saying in my code, hey, you are a helpful assistant, try to answer the question of this player. And then with the code that you can see on the bottom right, I'm just creating a message and sending this message with the ChatGPT API. Pretty simple. It's just one function and just 5 lines of code. And we can basically have an answer to everything. It's pretty good, very good. But of course, it's not it, because an AI is of course bound by the data that it uses. And here I'm only using my voice, my text. Uh, that's what I'm doing at the very beginning. I'm just doing "How are you?" But what would happen if we actually give some context to the AI? Because you guys remember that we have another features on our end, which is the pass-through camera. So can we actually send what the user is saying? Basically, can we take a quick picture of what the user is watching and send this picture with the web request? And the answer is yes. And it's pretty great. You can get answer to anything you want. You can, here I'm just going around asking, hey, what is that thing? Hey, can you say where I am? And I can get basically an answer quite fast. So it's pretty good, as you can see. And all that is creating the Meta Ray-Ban display prototype. So as you guys can see, this is like a mix of multiple things. Mixed reality, hand tracking, pass-through camera API, artificial intelligence, and of course, a little bit of voice recognition, of user design. And here we are able to recreate almost all of the features of this newly announced device. As I was telling you, this is not a way of saying that this thing is replacing the new device by Meta, and you shouldn't buy it, you shouldn't use it. I'm just saying that stop waiting. It is now time that you can, as of today, get started with creating on the future device even before they are there, even before they are available, or that the SDK are public. Now you can get started with simply this device that everybody has, or maybe the Quest 2 or the Quest 1. I mean, not everybody has. I'm saying everybody who is an XR developer as a VR headset. But anyway, with this, you can stop waiting and get started with this project. And yeah, thank you. This is like the first part. I want to get a bit deeper with with the Unity project, but I can see that Ferran is enabling his webcam, so I hope that I'm not too late. Do I have more time to go in
Yeah,
deep?
definitely. I
Oh,
just want to share the excitement of, I love this word of stop waiting. Can we use this as a motto of hackers? I love it. Stop waiting. Because one thing that I think it's public, so I can share. As you know, the display part of the SDK is not, I mean, will not be available at the beginning. So even though you have access to the toolkit, the display part will not be available. So I think what Valem has been showing to you will be valid for your prototyping, even though you have the Ray-Ban display glass and the kit access. It may be still applicable. Of course, at the end of the day, you need to still prototype and deploy to glass. But this is an amazing opportunity. Hackathons are all about validating use cases, right? As you know, Valem, we have been talking with you. As of today, with the help of all these hackers and students that we have been showing how to build AI, XR AI, or smart glass use cases, we have reached over 50 use cases as of today. Our goal is to reach 100 by the end of this year. So we are heavily relying on your kit and the kits that we will show in a few minutes after you. So, and this will be a unique opportunity, right? That our students, our hackers finding jobs just because they integrated camera access and AI to their projects, or they find, if they are freelancer, they are finding clients, So this is like, because computer vision is something or like this kind of like an XAI use cases is new, but the AI is there for a while, and this computer vision is there for last 10, 15, 20 years. So it's all about combining these two superpowers or bringing AI, context-aware AI, to a wearable, right? That's how we are doing. So thank you for bringing that. We have still time, so let us know how many more
Y-
minutes you need. So we still
Yeah,
have time.
can I have like 10 minutes or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that? I
yeah.
want to, maybe some people are just annoyed of seeing me just sharing slides. So for these guys, I'm going to get technical and share like the full
Yeah,
Unity
exactly.
project. So
We love
um,
hands-on things. So this is
yeah,
the core part.
I love it too. And yeah, and I love what you said about, I think that it's currently so I really like the fact that right now we have everything. We have computer vision, we have AI, we have hand tracking, we have XR. What this device is doing is creating bridge. It's creating bridge and new ways of all of these different things that are already there in the market, but it's reshaping how you can use them together. And this is for me what's very interesting. And it also means that, of course, that this stop waiting slide is important because yeah, don't wait for this bridge to be there. Be at the very see the bridge being built in front of you and wait in line and try to see how you can create your own bridge, right? But it's pretty cool. And honestly, for hackathon, all of these different elements, hand tracking, AI, voice recognition, scene model, path through, all of that, it's very, very cool. So, and there is so much thing and so many cool things that you can build and that are going to shape what the future of this technology is going to be about. So it's not only like a super opportunity right now with the device, with the hackathon, but it's also like right now we are such at a moment where we are writing the technology of tomorrow, and I think it's not only exciting in terms of hardware but in terms of ideas and creation, and I think that hackathon are also all about that. So it's very cool. And now enough of this. Here is something that you guys probably are familiar with. It is a Unity project. And here I'm going to share a little bit. I will not get with my VR headset. I just want to explain to you a little bit how it works. And the first thing that I want to share with you guys is here I'm using the Meta SDK. You guys have probably played with it. It is an awesome SDK that contains so many features that are making our job so easy to do with creating some samples, some pre-configured scene, or even interaction. And here, just for the people already know about this, that already know about this SDK, there is something important to do if you are doing this kind of, uh, head mixed reality thing together, like I did, and it is to disable the guardian because the guardian is something that is, around the player and that needs to be there to protect him from hitting walls. But because we are in mixed reality and that we are actually trying to fake virtual glasses, we actually need to remove them. And now it is actually a new features. Not an, I guess, no, it's not new anymore. I shouldn't say that. It's been around for a few months, but it's a feature that not everybody knows. And here you can see that you have something called the should boundary visibility be suppressed. And you can see that I've enabled this, and this will allow you to disable the guardian to, move around like this, go anywhere that you want without being limited with your VR headset. It's pretty good. But anyway, now enough with this. I'm going to share with you the canvas. So everything is here on this Quest display menu. You can see it's all there. It is, the basic canvas. It has, backplate. It has a section title, and it has these four little buttons for music, assistant, camera, gallery. But what's important is that if I select all of these buttons, let me share with you. Then I click here to enable the gizmo. And down below, I'm going to click on visualize and next to the button. And you can see something that as VR developer, we are not using this feature enough because people that are making, application on the web or on PC know about this feature, but we don't because we are not used to navigate. We are using point or poke to interact with UI. But here, what you can do within Unity is actually to create navigation from one UI to another, which normally allow you to use the arrow key to navigate. And you can see that here I have set up a navigation to go from the close button to the music, to the assistant, to the gallery, to the camera right there. And if I click on play, I'm going to share with you a little bit how it works. Yeah. There we go. There we go. You can see that it has selected the music. And now with my keyboard, I can move. I can go there. I can select the music. There you go. I can close and I can basically navigate left, right, simply with the arrow key. You know, pretty convenient, pretty cool. But this is like the foundation of the interaction of the meta ray-ban display, because it's something, the meta ray-ban display is using an arrow key in disguise. It's basically the micro gesture that are doing left, right, up, down are just simply a way of doing arrow key with your hand. And that's what actually I did here. I use, down below, I have this script which is called the micro gesture UI input right. And in this script, here it's pretty simple. I'm going to share with you the script. The script is simple, but it doesn't look simple. But I promise to you guys, it's very simple. Let me grab the screen right there. So basically, what I'm doing is that I have, where is it? So I'm listening. There you go. I'm listening to the micro gesture, which is from the Meta SDK. And when a gesture is recognized, I'm calling the handle gesture function. And this handle gesture function will be able to know if, you know, we are swiping right, swiping left, swiping forward, swiping backward, or even tapping with our thumb. And depending on this, I'm calling this UI navigator script. And let's go inside this UI navigator. And this UI navigator is something, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I didn't write a single line of code of this UI navigator. It is something that's available for all of UI project that's out there. I grab it actually from online. And this script basically call here the send move function, which will force a movement in the UI. And this movement will be forced, and then using the UI navigation system, you are able, you know, to, there you go, it's here. It's called the send movement, and here I'm calling the execute event. This function is able to, you know, select another UI element. So let me rephrase everything. I'm listening to micro gesture, which allows me to get a direction. This direction is sent to the event system of the UI to go right, left, up, or down. And there it is. It's basically it. It's so I'm just here using the UI navigation, and simply with the micro gesture, I'm able to, you know, to navigate and do anything I want. I have also here the pinch and twist event source, and this is something where basically I'm just trying to know if the user is pinching. And if the user is pinching, then I'm starting to listening to, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, so and gesture. There you go. When we are pinching, I'm just listening to the angle of the hand, and depending of the angle, I'm increasing or lowering a volume. So yeah, so this is the end tracking feature. It's pretty good. And if I click on play, I cannot show it with you. I think it's easier if I use here my hands to share with you guys. So here with this, I'm able, you know, to navigate. I can go in the music, and I have actually made a shortcut on my keyboard to up or lower the music, which is exactly what happens when you are doing this gesture. So it's pretty good. And now the last thing that I want to share with you guys are the AI features and the pass-through camera. It's a bit tough right now to share this because, well, we are within Unity, and Unity doesn't allow me to use it doesn't allow me to use and display the pass-through camera. But maybe, let's see. I have actually not tested this, but maybe the voice recognition will work. So if I go there, if I go to assistant, hello, does it work? Oh no, it doesn't. I think it's because I have disconnected the AI. But anyway, let me maybe share with you what I meant by that. Yeah, so all of the behavior are under here, this AI behavior thing. And you can see that on the AI manager, if I open it, this is where the magic of doing a web request to ChatGPT happens, because I can simply, there you go. I have this function called handle response, which is triggered with the voice recognition. And on this handle response, I'm calling the describe ChatGPT function. And it is basically just this couple of line of code, which, you know what? It takes a picture. This is what I'm saying. This is to take a picture of what the user is looking at. Once you get a picture, you can create a message. And on this message, here is what I said. I'm saying you are an AI assistant that can provide contextual information based on the provided image. Give an answer in less than 40 words. And I'm adding on top of this message the picture data, and then I'm just waiting for ChatGPT response. But it also means that if I were to replace all of that by saying you are, I don't know, you are botanic expert that can explain the type of plant uh, that I'm looking at. Give me one fact about the plant that I'm looking at, or tell me if I need to water my plant or not. So basically, you can shape the AI and this response with here this message, and you can give to this AI a certain picture and use this picture as reference, as context for this AI response. And as you can see, it's just a simple function. So most of the question comes from all of these things, which is able to grab a picture. And I guess that's basically it. I have many little things to share, but these are the main foundation of this sample. So this sample is available on my Patreon, and I think it's also available for you guys. I think I have a link if you want to grab it for free as well. And yeah, I would love for people to just test it out, play with it. The only thing that you need to do is to put your credentials. If you go to resources, then open AI configuration. Here you need to put your own API key, otherwise it will not work. Let me see, and I have, uh, whoop, I think that, where is it? So this is the link that you can use. I don't know. Can I paste it in the chat? This will, yeah. This will give you kind of a place where you can grab bits. I hope I'm doing everything right here. But yeah, with this thing, you should be able to grab 3 months of Patreon, which will allow you to download here this project, which is available on my also on my Patreon. But I would love to answer any question if you have on this. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you guys for your following along. Thank you for asking some question. I don't know if we have a little bit more time to answer some question, but it was a real pleasure to give you this talk, which I know was a bit tricky, like a bit technical at the same times, and I hope it wasn't too hard to follow. But yeah, thank you for everybody. I haven't received link here. Oh, sorry. And this is the time where I stop. There you go. Should
Hi,
optimize it.
Quentin. Do you see the QA section with all the questions?
Oh, I do. Question and response. Okay, yeah. Can I answer some of them?
That would be amazing.
Oh, we'll love it. I mean, if I have more time, I just didn't want it to,
All good, all
delay
good.
everything.
Should I moderate a little bit? So did you already try the Meta Variables Device Access Toolkit?
No, I haven't, and I wish I had. Yeah, and I think that even if I add, I wouldn't be allowed to answer a question about it. But yeah, I'm really curious and excited to try it out. I think it's going to be great. Honestly, looking at what Meta has built as an SDK, I have high expectation of this SDK as well. But yeah, only time
Awesome.
will tell. And
That was a
I
question from one of your Patreon members.
oh, amazing! Thanks.
So, and if we do AR, can we actually just use phone camera to render the game?
Yeah, this question, I saw this question when it was asked, and it's a bit tricky. Here, I'm just wondering um, what is being said for the phone camera. If we do AR, can we actually use phone? Do you mean using a phone camera inside your VR headset, or is it like if Madeline, you could, give
Okay,
more
while Madeline
context?
is answering that, we can maybe go to the next. So your approach is probably even better as both eyes have something to look at instead of the single display from the Ray-Ban display.
Yeah, and yeah, that's a valid point. And that's a comment that I had on this on here is that I have put this UI in front of both eyes, and both eye can look at it. I try at the time to just put it on the right part here for the right eye, like it's done for the real device. But it wasn't very comfortable in VR. I guess that it's because I didn't play right with the distance. It was a bit too close to my eyes, and I didn't like it. So that's why I put it in the middle, which is not like the correct way of using it because it doesn't kind of represent exactly how it's done on the real device. Um, but yeah, people seem pretty happy with how the UI is positioned on the real device. Um, Even if of course yeah it's only on one side, but yeah, otherwise with this prototype, with this toolkit, what you can do is render on only one eye and play with the position, and you can get something very very similar. But yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think next question. Hello, Valem. So the next question is: can this project simulate the hardware limits of the Ray-Ban display? I mean,
Oh yeah, no, Quest 3 is pretty as a very very big power, and I guess it's just a question of size at this point because here the thing contains a big computational power. So I'm not sure how it. So this is the prototype is more of a feature prototype and a design prototype than it is of a um, the hardware capabilities. It's very hard. It's like if I'm grabbing a computer that is able to be controlled with a mouse and a keyboard. It's similar to a VR headset. So is it the same as a VR headset in terms of power? And the answer is no. So here we cannot give kind of a precise idea of the hardware limitation thanks to this prototype.
but from interactions standpoint, this screen, right, interface, I think it's perfect to give an idea. I think I would I would not like use this as okay. If it works in Valem's prototype, it will immediately work on the Reva. Don't make this kind of assumption. But I would much more do that as a like use that as an opportunity to validate. Like validate your idea, check if this small screen display works, interactions work. So I think because okay, we are on the XR industry maybe more than 10 years, but we are not used to these kind of things. Like, of course, on the AR side, there were many AR glasses or display glasses, hood glasses like this one. But this one will be probably very big. So just to maybe from, especially from voice, even interaction perspective, I think we haven't scratched the surface yet. So I think that can be an amazing opportunity for you to try. So actually, there is one question about that part. Can you access the user's speech and pass it to a speech to text model in Unity? Is there any a text to speech model as well?
Yeah, and I think that the SensAI Academy can help you a lot with this. because this is actually a subject I think that is being covered. And here, personally, I used I use Wit.ai, which is part of the Meta ecosystem. It's a voice recognition SDK, which can, you know, get what the user is saying, try to understand some intent, and it's good, but but there are other solutions as well. I know that Laura mentioned also OpenAI voice recognition, which works great. So there are different models that are there, with their ups, with their down, with their strength. So yeah, it's very feasible. It's very good, and yeah,
I think
totally possible.
what we can do is Rick is already going through the workbench. So you can ask this to Rick right now after Valem, he will be taking stage. So when he's talking about workbench, you can also talk when the speech to text will come. But for speech to text and all these voice interaction, maybe you remember Laura was showing the wait AR. So it's like you are a waiter in a restaurant, and you are basically using the microphone of your headset wearable to understand the order of the customer in a restaurant, right? But the situation is, we talked about this a few times before with you, Quentin, as well. The problem of the main difference of Quest versus smart glass from a hearing detection, sensing perspective is it is different, right? Because Quest is built to capture the sound from the wearer. Ray-Ban, smart glasses, especially you have seen the announcements of conversational awareness, etc. It is also not only the wearer, but also the person looking at you, right? Capturing the voice of people and even understand the dialogue. I mean, you saw these AirPods functions that it dims the sound, etc. So these things are all about voice detection, voice segmentation. And Quest is not purposefully, it's not being built for that purpose, because they rather close up the environmental sound so it can directly hear you, right? So what we have done in the previous hacks, just a tip for everyone here, we will bring a few external microphones to make your life easy. And this actually works. It really works. So instead of taking the voice from the direct requests native microphone, you will actually get the speech or voice from these microphones. So you can hear the voice around you as if it's like a nice smart glass use case. So Valem's kit plus this external microphone will be what you will need, just to give you a little bit of tip. So if you have any external microphone, feel free to bring, because we have a few, but if you want, we can have more, because this is an important part if you are especially building a smart glass first application. Is there any guidance through on privacy for the live stream content we are sharing with AI models? Is it a question for Quest or is the question for Ray-Ban? I don't know. Maybe Valem, whichever you know.
So yeah, this is like a big concern, right? With mixed reality, with pass-through camera access, all of that. There is a lot of information that you can already find about Meta policy privacy, and which should answer part of your question. But if you need some guidance, there is outside of this documentation, I think there are some workshop being already worked on by Meta around these. One of them was shared in the Meta Start community about the privacy, but it's a big subject. It's a big subject. It's a big and tricky subject, where so this is my answer. It's not very complete, but yeah, personally, I would also love to see more thing being delivered about this. So maybe there is the need of a tutorial or of a workshop to answer a bit more about these concerns.
But that one thing comes to my mind. I know that we are a little bit over time, but this is a very interesting subject. So I want to make sure, I hope everyone is okay that we are a little bit over time, but this is very important because again, I will go back to the motto of stop waiting. because you may realize from the Connect announcements that Meta's kit is built on top of Android or iPhone or iOS um, limitations and operating system. So it comes with lots of permissions and lots of different privacy settings that you need to somehow access some of these um, microphone or other things um, in the way that Google and Apple wants. So on Quest, you have more access because it's native, right? Because you are directly working on Unity, etc. So just to let you know that it may not be as easy as Valem's kit to access these things, either as a end user, or as a developer. Just to let you know that there will be a lot of permissions that you need to go through to make this happen. Maybe it is one-time permission, so you are giving always give access, but just to let you know that again, prototyping on Quest may still be valid just because of these a little bit frictions because of two different companies building the glass and the smartphone. So just to let you know. So how is the Passthrough Camera API different than the Meta Wearables device access toolkit? How would you like to quickly?
Yeah, here I don't have an answer because I haven't tried it yet. But my hope, my big hope is for Meta to create, that they are making devices that share similar feature, but that are different. And my hope is that the SDK that is behind it kind of, makes it easier to develop on both at the same time. There is some cross-platform or some shared capabilities and development. So I hope that this difference between the Passthrough Camera API and this Meta Wearable Device Access Toolkit is as small as possible. But of course, there is device limitation. There are some specialties from here and there. So I'm not here expecting like having the same type of behavior or the same type of code or the same type of SDK API call or anything like this. But I hope that it will be easy to jump from one device to another. Just because I don't want to, spend hours reading more and more documentation. I'm just so tired of it. But yeah, I hope it will be as cross-platform as possible.
Yeah,
But I
we
don't
hope
have an answer.
so. Yep, so perfect. Do you use any methodology or resource to interaction design for AI glasses?
Oh, here, what's exactly is kind of methodology is
I mean,
uh,
probably design principles, as far as I understand. I mean, the thing is, when we say interaction, are we talking about gestures, hand gestures, or are we talking about voice-based interactions? Both of them are input, right? So I think both has different mindsets. So
yeah.
I think,
But and here it's a bit different, because there is some, methodology and in terms of interaction design for mixed reality, that you need to put, the content at displays so to make it. So there is a set of rules for interacting with content, but now that this is for meta classes, everything has been it's a bit different. What can you use? What can you should you do? What should not you should not do? Well, here it's basically like yeah, there is so many new things that are coming. In terms, I guess that looking at these devices, looking at how the device works, it needs to be as simple as possible. It needs to be as little as possible. You need to make the interaction direct. So all of these basic rules still applies, like it applies for any type of device. But I guess that the way that the interaction work with the microgesture, the way that this device is a bit different than an XR headset. I mean, here it's like nobody has kind of a precise answer on how you should design for this device. Maybe even like 1 year, in 1 year, we will not have a precise answer to that question. Like we still do for VR, we still are writing like the design principle of VR right now. Everything change and we have some rules. Everybody knows that you either want to poke or press on a ray button, or you know, these kind of principles are known now. But yeah, I just wonder exactly what it's going to be like for the Quest headset, for the Ray-Ban display. Sorry.
I mean, one thing that I would like to share, I mean, also Dolores also shared a few things, and you mentioned, in my opinion, especially we are a little bit in the transition phase right now. Everything is based on HUD, right? Like not like a AR, like we are not talking about the Meta Orion here. So whatever we know so far for VR and AR design is not applicable for this one, in my opinion. Maybe a little bit of interactions, yes, because of hand tracking, etc. But from an interface perspective and how you interact with a menu perspective, it is quite different. I suggest that you treat especially this transition period as its own within its own constraints and design possibilities. It will eventually go to the AR side, but I think today the way that we interact is not similar to so much AR or VR interactions that we are used to for the last 10 years, right? So just to let everyone know that existing VR, AR design principles may not work here. So you need to really, that's why I think this is very valuable with Valem's kit. You can, by the way, I shared the Patreon link, so you can already access. I think it's a little bit different transition process or stage here, and you can basically treat this as a little bit different medium.
Yeah,
So-
and that's what's exciting too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the rules are not set. You are
Exactly.
here to create the own rule of this device, and that's what's exciting here, right? So we have
Exactly.
like a new device, new thing to explore. So it's like an open world just in front of us that's ready to be explored. And I also want to thank Dolores for sharing some great recommendation in terms of design principles and guideline. This is like, yeah, some nice read to do.
Yeah,
So
it's very
thanks.
nice links. So one more question. What do you use to get into the rounded borders and gradient backgrounds in the UI?
Oh yeah, let me. Can I share my
Yeah,
screen
yeah,
for
yeah.
like one
Go ahead.
second? Yeah, I'm going to, because it's going to be so much easier to explain it. There you go. Okay, for these round corners on the Meta SDK, there is the best thing out there, and I'm going to show it to you guys. It is the rounded box UI properties. So this is a component from the Meta AI stuff that I'm using all the time for any project. So you just have to, you have an image. You know, the image comes normally with, there you go. So an image comes like this. You know, it comes like this. It has a color, but it has a sharp edge. And with this SDK, what you can do is change simply the material, and you need to search for the rounded box. Oh, and if it doesn't apply, you can just click here, and there you go, rounded box UI. So this is the material that will allow you to create rounded box, but now, and nothing happens. So what you need to do on top is add as a component a rounded box UI properties. And here the magic happens, because you can play with all of the different corners. And here I'm playing with the X corner, but I can play with the Y corner to create, you know, a rounded edge on the right side. If you want to have multiple element next to each other. So for example, you could, like, I could do this, and I could, you know, I don't know, press 0, 0, and just do it on the up and down. Oh, what's going on? Oh, this one has 80. Anyway, let me control it. This is okay. There we go. What I wanted to say is that, okay, you can change the roundness of every corner as you want, and it's very convenient, right? So just by doing this, you can now, there you go. I want 20 on all sides, and now I have a beautiful UI. And more than that, when you change the size, if everything is inside a vertical layout group, so I'm not able to modify it, but there you go. If you modify the size, the roundedness is keeping itself, so everything looks good. It's a really nice feature, and this is what I'm using to create all of these rounded corners. And it's more optimized too because it's using a material and not like different texture. So yeah.
One more question. How do you control several buttons on the music player and also close the menu? How many gestures to pause, play music, or close menu? I think these are a little bit detailed now because we have to go to the other, but anything you want to quickly say on the
How
music
do you
player side?
control several? So to control multiple button, it's simply a matter of using the UI navigation. So as you can see, I have so if I go to the music player, I can from here I have multiple button and I can navigate through this button through the there is some sound. Okay, there you go. Let me reduce it. And from here I can, go back to the X button and navigate through it. Is that the answer to the question? I'm not sure, but yeah.
Perfect. How did you build the UI with Canvas from scratch and then make it interactive with right click, or did you drag drop from the Meta Interaction SDK? Exactly. Which interaction SDK you used, or is it
Yeah, I'm using
Unity?
the Meta XR all-in-one SDK, and yeah, something that you guys should know is that this SDK has resources for all
Interaction
of the
SDK.
UI. Where is it? UI set example. It's here. It's awesome. It's beautiful, and it has all of the UI that you need. If this scene, you can still see my screen, right? But yeah, let me show you. So this scene contains all of the UI that you need. There you go. It's part of the sample scene, and you have all of the different UI you want to use. Like you have labels, different buttons, you have here like a shopping list, you have here typical menu, you have different style with transparent background, you have like I don't know, anything. You have toggles, all of that, and you can simply grab one of these and kind of tweak the look, tweak the visuals, and that's what I did. Personally, what I did was grab these and mess with the name, with the size, change the icon, and this is what was the foundation to making me build my own UI. And yeah, it's always easier and faster to start with something already present, and that's what I that's why I did it this way. Yeah.
So it is like you are using sample scene from Meta Interaction SDK, and the whole thing is based on the interaction is also based on Meta Interaction SDK, right?
Yeah.
Samples, everything. Perfect. One question: did you run into any performance challenges with hand tracking and real-time AI inference?
Yeah, here because I'm using a web request to ChatGPT, I don't have to do the computation myself, or OpenAI server are doing it. But yeah, if you run like a heavy AI model locally on your XR device, it can be resource heavy. For example, if you are doing object detection or something like that, sometimes you can, depending on the complexity of the AI, it can be very bad in terms of performance. But personally, this project is very lightweight, and it's because like the power capability of the Quest 3 headset is so much superior than the smaller glasses, of course. So it's easier. Maybe there will be some, device constraint in terms of optimization doing this into the real device, but on the Meta Quest 3 headset, which is very powerful, I of course didn't notice any.
Amazing, amazing. Perfect. I mean, these are really amazing. I wish that we have 2 more hours. I really think that we should really continue that. There are also other AI kits now from our SensAI Academy team, but Quentin, like this is amazing. So some people are asking, okay, I learned this now. How I will access? So I'm sharing the Patreon link of Valem. Um, Maybe Valem, you can also mention what they can find there in addition to this kit.
Yeah, so basically I have a Patreon where I post the source code of my tutorials from my channel, and I actually created oh yeah, sorry, I
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
very clear.
exactly. So we
Um,
just need to see exactly. So I just
yeah,
shared your Patreon link already. If we
yeah,
subscribe to your Patreon, what are the
yeah.
things? I see that you have already over 4,400 members there in
Yeah,
Patreon.
yeah. These are free members, but and the access to the kit that I shared to you guys is a paid is a paid price.
Premium
But
package,
here
right?
I'm giving I'm giving a free entry to this kit. So
Yeah.
it's like a free 1 month for everybody who wants to. And using this 1 month free, you can go and grab the code for yourself and with even the other project and do anything you want with it. So yeah.
So if you want Valem to continue doing this awesome community work, please support Valem on YouTube, follow him, and Patreon, join his Patreon, subscribe. As he mentioned, he's very like supportive of what we are doing. We are really like talking every week, and he is really kind to provide this kit for hackers joining Barcelona and San Francisco. So if you have already get confirmation as a hacker from our team, Kathleen, you will receive a learning resources, and under this learning resources, you will have special code access to Valem's Patreon for 1 month, which will give you access to this kit. Okay, so if you are, and there are many people saying things about you. I mean, I'm not saying anything. They are saying, right? He's like a god on YouTube, etc. So yeah, I think what you have built is amazing, Valem. But I feel like we don't appreciate these community works a lot in our industry. We are we are always talking about the top, like I don't know, like a company leads, company CEOs, but I think you guys and the other YouTube and Patreon community enablers, we call it, are the ones that deserves huge appreciation. So we will do our best to support you guys. So thank you, thank you, thank you for really not only for today, but generally like for last how many years of work that you since 2017 that you have been like us. We have been also trying to support. So if everyone here wants this community work continue, I think it's important that we really support people like Valem.